It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And all eyes are on the dual threat Lamar Jackson. You can't ask for much more than his last game, a 5-touchdown effort. It's the Ravens and the Bengals, next on Madden NFL 24.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Straight ahead, it's a rematch from last year's AFC wildcard game, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gunn. To my left, Charles Davis. And Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Unable to corral him, he fights through. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
And he comes off an incredible performance in the opener, 5 touchdown passes. Now look, you always want to start strong, but I think that's more than anyone, including himself, could have expected.
Jackson, first play, going to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be out right at the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay? Because it says something like this. I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just get some yards, though. He gets a big gain, and they'll come right back with another 1st and 10.
First carry now for Justice Hill. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. His 3rd rushing touchdown on the year, his 5th overall. And the Ravens need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. So now the Bengals get ready for their first drive. And they're brought out by the former Washington Husky, undrafted back in 2019, Jake Browning.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup, threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
Now Browning. This goes out wide for Mixon. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Oh, they'll try a jet sweep here with Higgins. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Off the edge and right to the ball that time was Kyle Van Noy.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss.
Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
Yeah, look at this Baltimore defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And this is one of those something's got to give games. You've got the number 1 passing team in the NFL against the number 1 defense against the pass. A lot of times, the battle's in the trenches. We know that. We see it all the time. But this game's going to be won on the outside.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. So the completion there, but Charles, looking at this defense, certainly in for a tough task here this afternoon. What are some of the keys for them if they want to come out on top?
Well, the first thing, partner, is they just allowed a completion there. They don't want to get a string of those going. Let him get his confidence. Let him get into the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game, and all of a sudden, he's feeling like he can do no wrong. You want to really get after his timing a little bit, knock a few balls away, and make things...
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Dafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To throw, Browning. Under pressure, they got him again. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And, Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
And the pressure gets to him again. Kyle Van Noy. That's now back-to-back sacks, and it brings up 4th down. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting side. There is a hush indeed. This is brought in at the 21. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue. Odell Beckham Jr. A big play that time through the air. 61 yards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they go to work on a 1st and goal.
Ready?
Hill will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still second quarter, you get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Browning's throw here into the hands of Boyd.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Here's Browning. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Now a play fake here on first down. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked by Darryl Worley. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Well, the way things have been going to this one, Charles, it was only a matter of time before this defense got involved and made a big play, and they do right there. Gosh, this lead is so large, CD, and we're only in the first half.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that's so amazing about it. You mentioned this large lead. How's this their first takeaway of the game? And what a spectacular one it was. Adding to the lead, showing the true dominance, and you're exactly right. We're still in the first half.
Delay of game, offense.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Another attempt now from 5 yards further back. And it is now 21-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
No run back here for Jones, a touchback. Cincinnati's offense coming back here onto the field. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop.
A loss of 2 brings up 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
Let's smart, baby. Let's go now. Let's go. Let's go, man.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Browning. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Inside handoff to Mixon. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On now to punt. First punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. And the Ravens taking the field. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost push them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just now supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He's going to look for Beckham in the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens continue to pull away here in this first half. So this offensive unit, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Tucker now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it's OBJ, Odell Beckham, who ends it with a touchdown reception.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. Throwing to start the drive. Browning. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Looking to throw. Browning. To Mixon on the check down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes 3rd down and 7. On the delay, it's Mixon. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
That's terrible. Let's go, baby.
Here's Brad Robbins now. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And taken right on the 30. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, and that one getting close to halftime with the Falcons out in front. 3 touchdown passes there for Desmond Ridder. From there, it's up to Highmark Stadium to check in on the Bills, and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Josh Allen with a touchdown pass to Stephon Diggs. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And at the half, they have the lead over the visiting Seahawks. 2 touchdown passes there for Jared Goff. Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.